morning, good afternoon, good evening. How's everybody doing? Nikki, if you're still here, how you doing? Tommy, how you doing? Let me see something. I almost forgot about the live stream. I was trying to figure out some kind of a pump filter system. My wife took my father-in-law's old white 150-gallon tank that I had before he filled up and put some plants in it, and he wanted fish. So I said, well, just get a couple of little, they went out 75 little catfish they bought. I go, he's going to have to watch them all die over the next 2 or 3 weeks. She didn't understand. But anyway, so I was oblivious to what was going on here, trying to find a little pump and thinking about what filters I had around. Hey, Justin, how you doing? To make it work. But anyway, so I almost oblivious. Anyway, they got they started the cousin or the family that built the fence, that built the pond, the one that drinks. I guess he went out and bought himself a truck. So maybe he's thinking about working, but he showed up. Let me see if I pull this up here. Starting on the, why is that so? I don't want that. No, better. You can see the fence, the front fence. There is one pillar there. Can't see it all that close. The gate's going to be big, but it isn't going to be that big. You can see it here. That's going to be encased, and the other one will be block over here. So the fence will start from the one side of this pillar that's steel that's there, and then go all the way over. Like I said, my street is really narrow, so I want to not get freaking frustrated pulling the trailer in and out. So I've been thinking about actually going out and spending a couple of nights over at the local little reservoir and doing a little fishing, actually. Hey, Maui, how you doing? If I missed that, I don't think Tip, how you doing? I didn't see you there. But anybody else that I missed? No, I think I got everybody. I didn't see Maui was here a little while ago. So he should be here. He doesn't usually get here till 9 o'clock, but so he bought himself a truck, so now he's in debt to do that. So he'll probably, I don't know. It's hard to, if you know anybody, or 95% of my friends are all alcoholics, and it's not an easy thing to quit doing. Cigarettes was my heroin, but I give a lot of people credit that can just even stop smoking and let alone stop drinking alcohol. But I hope he does. He's very talented. He's a master of none. But if I sat there and sit him down when he's sober and explain to him what I want and supervise him, he could build just about anything. And if he's sober and stuff, then I wouldn't mind, if Bobby or, somebody that's close to me needs a little something here or there done, I wouldn't mind, trying to get him the work. But when he's still drinking, I ain't going to do it. It's more, hey, Johnny, how you doing? It's, I don't, it's a pain in the ass. I don't want to put I'm not going to have anybody do anything for any of my friends that, I wouldn't. I have them do it for me because I'm here. But anyway, you guys get the drift. So, but I like the way, like I said, excuse me, he'll probably, we'll probably get blocked today. He bought, they went to Taiwazadu yesterday, my wife, and spent 3,000 baht on some, I think, bags of concrete, and then the metal for the bottom that the gate is going to travel on, the steel, little piece, angle iron that's going to go down in there. So maybe they'll be putting that in today. I don't know for sure. But yeah, it's tough, man. My stepdad was a mean freaking drunk, and like I said, actually he sobered up, and my little brother we're 10 years apart. Him and they were like this, it was his son. It was my stepdad, but not that made a real big difference. But he stopped drinking, never beat my my brother or anything. So, which let me at least talk to him. My brother, the whole life, tried to, why don't you go fishing with us? Why don't you do this? No, 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 thanks. I didn't want to get into it with him. I mean, he found out later in life what I had experienced wasn't the same fatherly love that he was getting. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know what it's coming to, boy. It's sure a sad fact, isn't it? No one. Do some people deserve to die that way? In my mind, yes. Child molesters, shit like that. That would be okay. You want to get shot in the neck, and that I don't know the guy. I never followed any of his stuff. From what I see or hear, this side says he was a Nazi. This, again with the Nazi shit. The guy's not even in the ground, and his wife is mourning, and people are all over calling the guy a Nazi. I don't know. I didn't look at it, but I don't think anybody's a Nazi. I mean, the Nazis were in a class of their own. When you kill 9 billion Jews or kill a bunch of people like that, to be able to tell somebody, like I said the other day, you don't like somebody, you don't like them. Hey, I don't like Trump. He's a fat bastard. I just don't like him. I don't think he's good for the country. But not, he's a Nazi. He's going to ruin democracy. He's going to do this and do that. Like I said, there's a lot of weak-minded people out there. All you got to do is watch, look at these cult deals, where like Manson, he gets a group of people in there. They think he's some kind of a god. He tells them to go kill people. They go kill people. Weak-minded, man. They don't have a mind of their own. So they're going to keep doing it, both sides, keep doing this shit. So hopefully they don't. Hopefully they stop with the shit and the rhetoric. Like I said, you get to say whatever you want. You don't like. I don't like him. I don't. He's this. He's that. But if there's a bunch of truth to everything that you're going to say, but how is there any truth in telling? Proving that somebody's a Nazi? You think this same man that obviously was some kind of a Christian, regardless of what they say about him, is going to kill a bunch of people? I mean, and come on. Anyway, it sucks, but like I said, it's really scary. All over the world. Like I said, that if you fuel these people, and they believe to a certain extent that oh, they're all, this has got to be true. They're all calling him. He's gonna go out and kill 90 million people. I'm gonna do the world a favor and shoot him. Anyway, I felt bad. I found out later that his wife was there. Or I don't know if his kids were there. But the only good thing, like I said, the stuff that I saw, he bled out before he hit the ground. So he didn't experience any kind of agonizing death. Probably wasn't a good one. Wouldn't be one I would pick. But yeah, I don't know how all the governments. I don't know how the governments work here. Me, my audio's bad. Nick, um, I don't know. Is it? You guys let me know. Anyway, hopefully you can hear me. But I don't know. There isn't. One of my good friends is, saying stuff right that same day. You know, oh, what's the big deal? The Nazi's dead. It's like, come on, man. I don't know. No one deserves what he got for what I have seen. And like I said, if you can prove something, the guy was this, they say he was a racist. They said he was this. That, I don't really give a crap. So I'm not going to go chase it down. But I think you better be pretty freaking, sure before you're going to, somebody better be sure if they think I'm a racist before they call me one, and otherwise there's going to be consequences, not so much in the YouTube world. These people sit behind their desks in their mom's basements, 60 years old in their jockey shorts, trying to ruin people's life because they have better life than they do, But anyway, okay, stop taking these people. Hey, Robert, how you doing? Sorry, I'm little behind. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, man, it's we have a lot of weak-minded people, and they have to stop doing that. Eating chips. It. I don't know. Like I said, I feel bad for him at 31 years old, and to get taken out that way. Um, People can't even talk about shit anymore. You can't even, and from what I understand, like I said, I don't know that much about the gentleman, but he would let anybody speak and let them, voice their side of whatever they were talking about, whether it be transgender or whatever. That's only what I've heard. But I see these people on there that are calling them this and that. I just don't know. Yeah, I agree. Too much hate. It's big time, man. You know, I, when I was growing up, there was a lot of hate, for gays, for blacks, but it seemed like once I got out of high school and stuff like that, stuff mellowed out. I really didn't have a problem. And my dad was a big racist, from Hartwell, Georgia, deep South, all that kind of stuff. But I was into sports and stuff like that. So, you know, my core group of friends were all white guys, but the sports side of everything, baseball, football, all that stuff was, mainly or at least 50% black. So I had a whole different perspective. I think I learned back then that a person's a person. So I'm not going to judge anybody by what I've heard from somebody, the color of their skin, anything. I'm going to one on one. I'll make my own freaking decision on what I think about anybody. And if I'm going to dislike them, I'm going to dislike them because I dislike them, not because of what the color of their skin is. But anyway, it isn't going to get any better, man. I can just see it on Facebook. And like I said, my good friend that I grew up with, that I knew the shit that, and I wouldn't get into it, but that we went through when we were younger, speaks up like he was an angel or something. And I just cannot see it on that day. People, celebrating that this guy that got killed. It just ain't right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't watch the news. I'm horrible, Nikki. Whatever I see on, on Facebook or something. Because the only reason I go to use the social media, like I had said before, there's my cat shirt, my wife's favorite shirt. Um, the is what I see on there, and the only reason that I do it is because I can check my whole family in 10 minutes every morning, and in 10 minutes I know everybody's okay, or little Billy's okay, even though he broke his arm, or little this or that. And when I do that, I do that. When the only information I get from the states is friends and family when I talk to them, what it's like. So I don't know anything about England, especially, or Australia. I've got a vague, knowledge of what's going on in the U.S., but I don't know. Yeah, I just don't understand. It's like I said, it's one thing to, if you're in at least the government that I know of in the United States, okay, we vote, they get elected, they are basically our mouthpiece, okay, and that's why we, did. When it comes down to these people, the hate is so strong. Like I said, that I come out and go, "Hi, I'm a Republican," or whatever they are. Okay, I'm a Republican, and I figured out a way that it's not going to cost anybody anything, and we're going to be able to give every person in the United States 100,000 U.S. dollars this year. Everybody's going to benefit, and the other side, the Democrat or vice versa, whatever, will go, "Oh, that's a great plan. Who came up with that?" "Oh, Billy Bob, the Republican." "Oh no, I'll vote against that." Doesn't matter what the people, they don't give a shit about what the people need or want or anything, you know. And if it came from the other side of their aisle, Vice versa, don't matter whether it's Republican or Democrat or whatever, they're going to disagree with it and not vote for it, regardless whether it's good or bad for the people. They just don't. It came from the wrong side, and that's just absolutely ridiculous. They're idiots. They're all idiots. Hey, Ron, how you doing, brother? But it's just, I don't know. I just find it hard to believe that people are like that, and I'm a logical guy, you know. You tell me that somebody, and like I said, I don't know. I'm not Republican. I'm not Democrat. I'm not nothing. I don't even live in the United States, but I know that all that this guy that's in there is doing now is for the billionaires and tax breaks. And I said, I don't know. Maybe, they gave tax breaks to him. I don't know. So what I do know is I don't know a bunch of billionaires that work and would benefit from no tax on tips or no tax on overtime or no tax on Social Security. Uh, yeah, I don't think the billionaire's worrying about paying the taxes on the Social Security that he's getting. I'm logical, and for somebody to say everything that this person has done, whether it be Biden or whether it be Trump, uh, was bad. The only thing I can say is, I'll tell you what the biggest thing that I remember about Biden was he guaranteed that we were going to get, Social Security, was going to get a $200 for lifetime bump in Social Security. And I never saw that. Now, all the other things I don't know because I don't follow politics. So I don't talk about them too much because no one can actually talk about it without getting crazy hate and, no, you got it wrong. He's crucifying people. He's a Nazi. Why? Tell me. And is it the truth on either side? Don't just say he's this or that. I don't know. Don't make no sense to me. But I feel bad for. I'm glad I live in Thailand. Put it that way. I love Thailand. Uh, I don't. And it sounds like from Nikki and the people over there. And I don't know about Australia, but everybody's not. I don't know. How can it be that tough, man? I know I could sit down with somebody, and if they're halfway, we can figure out something. I mean, and especially if I'm working for the people and I'm supposed to be helping the people. And my biggest thing that I can say is, well, I don't agree with this because it came from that side. You better have more than that or go down the road, and they got crazy things that people can stay. A president can only run 2 terms, but yet you can have some of these like Pelosi that can stay in office until 10 or 15 years after she's dead. Shit don't make sense. So some laws and shit need to be changed. These people shouldn't be in there more than 4 years. That's it. You get a shot. Here's your shot. Now go down the road and get your money for the rest of your life or whatever the hell you're going to do. And they got to pay for, regardless whether it's Republican or Democrat. How do these people go in on a $200,000 a year job and in 2 years they accumulate $50 million worth of assets? How does that happen? Another way you don't have to be a genius to figure it out. It's kind of hard, man. You got to be a special person to be able to take on a job like that. Somebody coming to me and say, "Hey, if you vote for this bill, well, we're gonna give you a couple $1,000,000." Really? Let me see. It would take me 30 years at making what I'm doing. Okay, count me in. And could I crucify them for that? No, but don't take the job if that's the way. I wouldn't take the job. I would say, no, you don't want me. You need somebody a little bit more, uh, you know, need that will say, no, I'm not going to do that. And I think that's why these billionaires and stuff in there, at least looking at it, first off, me looking at something, is it bad to have someone with a businessman that running the country and the biggest business in the world? I don't know, maybe not. Oh, but he's horrible and he's this and he's that, and so are politicians. Now, now you got it in there. So, to come up with, and a billionaire, somebody comes up to a billionaire and says, oh, hey, if you do this, I'll give you $500,000. I spent $500,000 yesterday on having my lawn cleaned, our lawn mowed, So I don't know, but they need to do something, and people need to stop being uh, assassinated and shit or attempted. Uh, they need to do it, and I don't care what the people say out there. If you're in this country, the United States, or not in Thailand, in the United States of America, and you're there illegally, then you're an illegal alien. You're there illegally. You need go, like I said, go to Colombia and try to sneak into Colombia and see what happens to you. Go into Cambodia, try to sneak in to any country and see what happens to you. Uh, so and am I against immigrant? No, give them all a social security number and make them all citizens tomorrow. I got no problem with that. But let them pay their share of taxes and stuff. So I don't know. It's tough. Let me see. Did I miss anything good as I'm rambling? If I didn't have kids and grandkids, I would have lived. Yeah, and that's what I think is holding a lot of people uh, in their home countries. Um, yeah, I don't. Like I said, to tell you the truth, what's really weird is I don't really know how parliamentary government even works. I mean, like I said, I consider myself a fairly intelligent person, but through school, through everything else, you could be talking about whatever, and if I'm not interested, all I hear is blah 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 blah, and then all of a sudden, motorcycles and a panhead over here for sale, and so I can recite the phone numbers for everything that came down with that, but I can't tell you how parliamentary government works. I barely know how the United States government works. I'm horrible, but I don't know. Like I said, I just hate to see, regardless of, I mean, like I said, I don't know nothing about the man, very little. Since that happened, I've seen a couple of things, and it seems like to me, from what I saw, he had his point of view. He voiced it, but when he was going to these young, he let them talk about it. Well, that isn't fair. I'm a transgender, and and voice their opinions, which I guess most of the college students and everything were digging. They were getting to be able to be heard, and people were getting to be able to talk, and maybe something was going to happen. Well, not with this guy anymore, obviously. But I don't know. anything with anything with motorcycles, I could soak that all in. Um, Yeah, I don't even watch it anymore. And I used to watch, stuff. And to tell you the truth, I mean, I watched some of this CSNBC, whatever the hell it was. Uh, they almost made me puke. And then I guess there's people out there that if you watched Fox News, you're a crazy person. I've been watching Fox News for as long as I can remember. Like I said, me and my wife here, when they were doing the shock and awe stuff, I would go and what's his name, Bill O'Reilly, and we'd sit on a little TV and a battery in an old motorhome, and on the coast, and me and my wife would spend 2 or 3 days, but we watched Fox religiously. But some of the stuff that I see on that at CNBC, I mean, it just and my friends will say the same thing. You got to stop watching Fox News. What, watch a real news like ABC or NBC? I seen what happens with some of that shit, and during the elections and during the debates, I don't know. Got to be logical. Got to have a mind of your own. You have to realize that there's people out there that are weak-minded and will follow you and drink the Kool-Aid. If you say it long enough that this guy's a Nazi, and you would be doing the country a big service by this guy going away. Blah blah blah. Some backwards sucker in the middle of nowhere gonna go, I got a 30 on 6 and I go hunting all the time. I could kill that guy in a day. I'll do that. I'll do that. Their 5 minutes of fame and whatever. But I don't know. I haven't followed any of the stuff that I get. They got a bunch of other shit. So anyway, Elon stepped up for the UK with this event. Yeah, I still think he's strange. Yeah, I think he's a little strange too. I have to agree with you on that one, Nikki. But I don't know. Hopefully they can do something, and hopefully, you'd think out of all the people, and I can only speak for I can't even speak for our government, but all the people that are in Congress or whatever they're in, the hundreds and hundreds of them, that we can't find one like or two like-minded people, that one's on this side and one's on this side, that can start doing some dialogue and trying to make some change. It's sad. It's really sad. Let me get a drink here. These cups are great. I don't know where my wife got them. These HR things or whatever. Uh, put this on my nightstand and have this and a little remnants of water or Coke or whatever all night long without a top on it or anything. And there's still not this one, but there's still ice in it in the morning. I like it because I take a sip. Being the young man that I am, I got to get up and piss every 5 minutes. So it kind of sucks. So it's nice to be able to have a little sip of something. It was a faith page giving. Yeah, and I guess that that he had the people were. I seen some of the stuff around there saying, "Oh, well, he was against taking away people's guns. Good that happened." Yeah, it's like, you know what, man. Why don't you go say that to somebody in his family? Something like that happened to me or something like that. Come say some shit to my face. You know, but they can't do that, and they can't talk to each other either. But like, do you like the color? My wife's favorite color. I got that one pink bathroom in my house. I never use it, but my wife talked me into that. And these shirts are freaking awesome, though, the material and the heat and all that kind of stuff. But she buys them for me, and I'll wear them as long as they're not solid pink. But cats, I still can take or leave cats. I got two in the house that I like: Bar Girl and Money Cat. Money Cat's a Persian, and she's the head cat. And Bar Girl is the one that had all the kittens, and then we finally had her fixed. She was out running around. That's why she got a Bar Girl name. But yeah, and I dig the shirts, and they're not. I think they're like. I think my wife pays like under $10 a piece for them. I think they're like 300 baht, $9 or something. So appreciate it. But the yeah, I dig them, and like I said, they don't hold moisture, and although here, like I said, when I first came to Thailand, it's going to be 7 years here in November. Um, uh, 80 degrees out, I was a ball of sweat, and then, oh my God, when you're coming like from Jake or Tommy and stuff like that from Texas and from Florida, when they got the humidity and they got the heat, it's not quite as bad. But it took me 3 years or something, I want to say, to acclimate a little bit to where, if there's even just a little slight breeze, just to kind of knock something out, I can take 85, 90 degrees. I mean, am I comfortable and want to run a marathon? No, but before I would just be a ball of sweat. Now I don't sweat like that, which is weird. It's weird the way your body, I guess, adapts, right? Thanks, Nikki. Um, yeah, you going to bed? Have a good one. And I'm not going to go long. I'll probably go an hour. It's 30 minutes now. Um, but I don't really have a bunch to say. Like I said, let's see if they're. What time is it now? Oh, it's only 8:30. He's probably not here. But let's. Come on. Where are you at? There we go. Oh no, there's his truck. Oh, there he is here. Son of a bitch. So he got a new truck, and I don't know what kind of truck, but he wants me to go and look at it and I don't know, tie a string on it and say good things about it or whatever they do, like they do here in Thailand. But it looks like he's taking care of it. It looks like he's got something over the front of his truck. So um, we'll see what he's got. Oh yeah, looks like they've got. There's something he's going to form up there. I don't know what he's going to form. See, but I'm going to start that concrete's going to come all the way to where that kid's standing, right off of that the steel beam here, the edge of it. It's going to come way out so that I can pull that trailer in. But son of a gun, 8:30 and they're here. Imagine that. So probably going to have to order. I don't know if they ordered block or not. If it makes it good, my wife's here. She probably ought to pull her car out of there before they start doing some stuff. She wants to go to the green market, is on Sundays, and get all the fresh vegetables and such. But let's see. So anyway, that's a good thing. Good sign. But and it's not. It hasn't been too bad. Had a lot of steel left over. I think I don't know if I did a final analysis on the back gate, but it was under 100. I haven't put it all together yet. And this front deal, he's charging me 16,000 for labor, and that's to build the fence and put it in and put the tracking down and the not do the wiring. I'll have the electrician bring the wiring, but set the gate opener and doing all that, and then building the the like we have on the house here, the little to go in between above the block on the fence. It's not going to be much because there isn't that much of it. There's only from basically where that hold on, let me get into this. Basically from the edge of that steel there, a little bit there, there'll be 1, 2, 3, and a short one, maybe 4 of the panels. And if you can see the panels like this, if you can see that, they're different in the back. They're that tropical deal, but we're going to try to get them to match that, and then we'll put the little koi medallions on it, and then we decided made even the fence a little bit bigger. Instead of going on the inside, we're going to put the fence on the outside so it can go by our wall over there, and I don't have to worry about it hitting and getting it as big as I wanted to. So kind of happy with that. I'm happy to see them there. That's freaking awesome. No, I was thinking about that yesterday, actually, and this morning, because I told my wife, I said, I think on Tuesday I want to go over to the Sarin Reservoir and take the trailer, put the e-bike on the back because I want to feel the weight, get another tongue weight on it, and go over and spend 3. I might leave it there a week. I might make a deal with the lady. Hey, I want to leave it this here for a week or two. I won't leave it plugged in or anything. It's got the solar on it, but how much will it charge? Probably charge me 100 baht a night or something. It might cost me 1,000 baht, and leave it there, and then I can just take the e-bike back and forth to the house because it's only about on the e-bike maybe take me 10, 15 minutes to get back to the house, and so I could try that. Plus, I want to make sure I haven't had the trailer out in forever. The tongue weight thing, see how it's going to be, but it's got to be. It's almost an extra 130 or 40 pounds difference between, or maybe 150 difference between the 125 and the e-bike. So, yeah, no, I don't think I'm doing that. The guys here. I don't know if people or if somebody's watching this, and my cousins and everybody in the States are, in total amazement. They're between 400 and 500 baht a day, so that's like what, $12, $15 a day. No, but he I gave him 2 scooters. He wrecked one. I gave him another one as part of bonus for doing everything, the wall over there, the pond, the pool, everything that he's done on here. And like I said, I'm hoping that he tries to get a little sober so that if my friends come up and say, hey, do you know somebody that can, set some posts for me or do something like that, I can feel confident in saying, yeah, I do, but 2,500, I think, a month is what he's into for payment. I think that's what my wife told me. So yeah, you would think maybe I was, but I don't think so. I don't think I paid him. Like I said, I'm going to get that front wall, the gate in there, motorized, all the metal inserts done, all the way around that whole piece of property, except for where my fence was, for probably 160,000 baht, which I think is almost free. Uh, and I did buy, in case any of my friends are watching, like Bobby or Andrew or anybody that's in the area, I have that post hole digger, and that saved him like days. He just went out there and boom, 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 boom. I have that here, so if anybody needs to borrow it and um, poke some holes in the ground, it's here. So hey, Patty, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. Health is getting better. I don't know if you guys can tell. Can you tell I have more energy? I'm like a ball of freaking energy, at least up until noon. Noon's when I eat my big meal that I make in the morning. Like this morning, I had two scrambled eggs, some mushrooms, onions, and carrots, and uh, and that's my breakfast per se. And then lunchtime, I'll eat a whole wheat tortilla with beans and chicken that I cook, and of course Thai chili and salsa made with just like a pico de gallo with Thai chili, and it's awesome. I dig it. And then I made that Taco Bell sauce. It's not exact, but it's damn close. I just cooked up another batch of it. It just takes a little can of tomato paste, a little 6-ounce can, that 3 cups of water, 2 or 3 tablespoons, depending on what it is. I put 2 tablespoons of chili powder, a teaspoon of onion powder, 2 teaspoons of cayenne pepper, a teaspoon of paprika, and a teaspoon of, or I put 2 teaspoons of garlic powder in it, and 3 teaspoons of cornstarch mixed with cold water to thicken it up just a little bit. Cook it for like, and 2 or 3 tablespoons of regular white vinegar, and that's it. That's the whole recipe. And you cook it for about 5 or 10 minutes. Let it cool down. I've got little squirt bottles. I fill up 2 of those, and then I've got a half a quart mason jar, and I put the rest of it in there, and then I fill that up. And I like it. It's spicy, um, but good. But I taper off a little bit after that, trying to get motivated again. But in the morning, man, I'm up. I got up at 3:30 again this morning. Haven't napped or anything, and I'm ready to get out there and talk with Tune and go over and get on the e-bike and make a little round. So, hey Jackson, how you doing? Your count is still frozen. The same for hundreds of expats here. Hopefully, I'll get it sorted out. Now, I noticed that in Chuck's video that I watched this morning, his mom's account she couldn't get into. So I don't know what happened with that. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, man. Um, and did you go back there? I'm imagining you went back in there, or no? Because I just can't see you not getting it opened and going there. Let me know if you went there. That sucks. Uh, that's horrible, man. But yeah, so for my health wise, I'm pretty damn good. I'm surprised, and I haven't done anything except change my eating. That's all I've done. And obviously, I haven't weighed myself, but I'm guessing I lost maybe 5 pounds, a couple of kilos. I'll weigh myself tomorrow. I was going to do it this morning, and I just didn't do it. But it, yeah, so not bad. And I dig my garage. The biggest thing that's going to happen is, let me go here and change this to this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my inside because I like big it is. I'm going to put up another cover like that's over the trailer right next to it in front of the garage door. I'll park my truck there. So inside, I'm gonna have the beds removed, and once I get everything out of there, I'll probably do a little finishing finishing video on the garage and what it looks like and how I have it laid out. Because I'm gonna lay it out different now because I'm gonna be utilizing all of it. Oh, I should change that flag. My wife got four since the war or the conflict with Cambodia. She's had the four Thai flags flying up there on the top of my man cave. So let me change this so we can, if we're going to do anything, we might as well watch them work a little bit. Who's he got? Looks like he's got three guys with him today. He only had two the other day. I told him on that too because I think he's have his tendency to want to drink during the day, and when he's got them, that's money he's losing out on making by paying them. Been back a couple of times. I said I don't have any money. Fortunately, I have, but won't last. And they don't care. They just say, "Oh, well, sorry." What do they say? Why won't they release it? Did they give? Or they just say sorry? That's the way it is. I don't know. That sucks. So no change. They said they would work, but they won't let me withdraw. Really? That's outrageous. That is outrageous. Wow. Yeah, I'm not stopping. I'm gonna stay on my track. Besides the fact, like I said, the more weight that I lose, the less pain in my knees, the less amount of fat and blood and stuff my poor heart has to pump and get down to a reasonable weight. Like I said, am I going to get down to 90 kilos? No, it ain't going to happen. If I get down to where around 200 pounds, I don't even know what that is on kilo wise. I imagine it's around 100 or something. But when I feel good, then I'll try to maintain that. But if I keep eating at a certain rate, the weight's going to stop going away when I reach the plateau of what I'm eating, I'm burning type. I was originally told 10 working days, but I think they are overwhelmed with the amount of work from the accounts frozen. Wow. Man, yeah, I don't know. There was a bunch of when my wife went in for me because I wasn't feeling good and did mine, she said that she saw the paperwork of everybody that was in and said all of them were all Farangs. So um, they didn't overload themselves. I don't think she was in there for quite a while, but I imagine it's different whatever you're from. I don't know how many people are affected here in Surin, but it's just like every other place in Thailand. What's normal here is different. Right next door from Buriram to Surin, it could be totally different. But yeah, I would. Man, yeah. What happens if you didn't have access to anything? You'd be screwed, right? And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are screwed. And you don't have any problem with that one. That's unbelievable. I was going to say open up another bank account. Yeah. Cool, cool. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't had any problem with Bangkok Bank, except for recently with the two times, one to check my SIM card and one to verify that it's me. And because I've got it to where when I make my transfers and everything's all set up, and I've never. It's going to be like I said. It's going to be 7 years in November that I've been here, and I've had the bank account since I basically first got here. I haven't had any problem. I lost it. Oh, I don't know what's going on with it. Oh, you didn't show up, or whatever. Never had any problem. That's why I'm keeping Chase and I'm keeping Bangkok for right now. Now my wife's got bank accounts in every one of the other banks, the government banks and all that. So we'll see. I had twice the bank approved. Yeah, and it's really weird. And from what I understand too, Johnny, this is what the banks are doing. They're not being pressured by the government or anything, supposedly. So it sounds more like pressure to me, but from what my understanding is, this is something they're taking upon themselves. And this is all hearsay. This is just what I'm saying. That something to do with scams and stuff that's going on. They want to make sure that everybody that has a bank account is like it is. And like I said, I would bet on my life. Of course, it's just my opinion that if you're going to go out and get a yellow book, if you want to keep your bank account, because I believe maybe by the first of the year or something, the first thing they're going to do is when somebody new comes in and wants to get a bank account, they're going to go, yeah, no problem. Where's your yellow book? Oh, I don't have one. Go get a yellow book, get your pink card, come back, and we'll be more than happy to open it up. The second thing that I think will happen after that is we're going to get a call like I did on my phone. Hi, Mr. Clark. We're just letting you know that you have 30 days or 60 days or 90 days to get a yellow book and come in and show us and to keep your bank account. Now, do I think in any way that they're going to keep my money? No way. They would just, here's your money. Thank you for banking with us. But I'm really, really, really set that I think that's going to happen. So that's the way they're going to regulate their banking. Forget about whatever other stuff you have, your passports or whatever. They're still going to want that, but they want that yellow book. They want to know that you're long term, you're going to be here for a while, and you have roots sunk into Thailand, which I don't have. My wife's been trying to get me to do it for two houses now. So I told her, set it up again. We'll go and just got to set up a meeting. I guess I got to go in and do a bunch of shit. So we'll see. Yeah, I guess whatever works. I don't think they give a reason. They don't say we're doing this because we want to check every foreigner in this country and make sure they're who they are. Those words I don't think will ever come out of their mouth, but they just want it done. No notice. Frozen August 19th. They say it's because Russian Chinese washing money, and that's what I had heard too. That they were, people doing fraudulent shit through the banks, so they couldn't give notice to the scammers would withdraw their fund. Okay, well at least that kind of makes sense to me. Not that it helps you in any way, but hopefully they'll get it rectified, and hopefully tomorrow uh, you'll be unfrozen. But yeah, I don't understand. So I'm kind of curious. Of course, keep us advised on what happens, Jackson, for sure. It just sucks. And like I said, your case, my case, I've got other monies, that I can, cards and bank accounts in the United States. That if I have to pay more money or whatever, but I can just take money out of an ATM or something. But Joe Blow that is here just on the skin of his teeth and living the dream and having a good time, but living from paycheck to paycheck, like more than likely he has done or she has done their whole lives, it could really screw with them. Well, wait a minute, man. I need this money to pay my rent and on Tuesday, and if I don't get it by Wednesday, they could be in real world hurt, and I'm sure there are people in that situation. Yeah, exactly. And that's what we did. I have two bank accounts with Bangkok Bank, and but my wife has like I said, she has a bank account in every other bank: the pink bank, the green bank, the yellow bank. They go by colors, I think. I know one of them. Excuse me, my nose is driving me crazy. I know one of them is the government bank because that's the one we have the loan on this house, or she does. She has the loan on this house. But yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. And it sounds like you're saying that it isn't just you. There's a whole crap load of people that are, and like I said, they're people I guess that'll be in a world of hurt that if this is all I got is whatever I get from Social Security or that gets deposited or my money's there. And I know if I depended on that only, I would still be screwed because the money that I would get um, would come from Chase Bank. And if my account's frozen, I'm sure I couldn't transfer money in there. Even if I could transfer the money in there, it's frozen. How am I going to get it out? So I'd have to go out and open up another bank account, have it to where I could do the wire transfer, which is not a big deal. But interesting. Yeah, exactly. Uh, yeah, and like I said, it's always good to have a chunk of money. I've always said you should have a cash somewhere, a safe, whatever it is, to get you through 3 to 6 months. You know, regardless. In case in case something like this happens. And if you have that set aside, you'd be okay. But some people don't have the ability to do that. Nothing wrong with that. They're still getting to live what they want. You know, it just sucks. Yeah, with an ATM with my ATM card. That's the way I did when I first came here. I went down and got forget how much I took out each month starting. I told you I was way overshot stuff, 60,000 baht or something. And then I would go down and get for each month. I would, okay, I'm going to probably spend, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4,000 baht a day, and I would put in there, and then I'd say, okay, I want two. I'd go to the bank and say, I want this many thousands, I want this many 500s, this many hundreds, this many 20s, and then I would break them up into because I'd never been on a budget before, right? I needed money, I go make more money, um, so I had these little stacks of money wrapped around each day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I'd grab it, and I think it was I want to say it was like 3,000 baht or something, 2,500 or 3,000 baht a day, and that's above and beyond. That was me paying my rent and paying the big stuff, the electric bill and all that. This was just runaround money, and after the first day, out of my 2,500, even my I forget what it was, 60 baht for cigarettes, 3 packs a day. I'd spend 100 and a couple hundred baht on that, eating 3 times a day, drinking a smoothie. I still had 1,500 baht, and so 2 or 3 days I had all. I'm going, holy crap! I guess I don't need that much. So yeah, there was a limit. I don't remember exactly what it was, but there was a limit. I think I had to take. I think it was. I thought it was 30, but 25 might be right. But I thought I had to take it out twice or something. And then they charge you so much for doing that. Not that it was extravagant. I mean, everything was so cheap when I first got here from what I had experienced, being in the United States. It was like, holy crap, even just with cigarettes. I was smoking 3 packs a day in the States at five, $6, $7 a pack, depending on what it was. 60 baht is what, um, I don't even know. What is it? A couple dollars or something? Buck and a half, I think, something like that. So $1.50 a pack from, five, six, eight, depending. I don't even know what they are now. And so that was a eye opener, and going and eating, it cost me like $6 or something for a meal. And, it was amazing because I had no idea, what I knew it was going to be cheaper to live, but I didn't think I was going to be living long. Okay. Uh, and I was, coming here to finish out my life, have a good time. Not in the aspect of running around. I never went into a bar, never got a bar girl, never bought a drink, never did any of that. I was mainly mourning her death pretty much for the time I was in Kamala. So it was um, it was interesting, when I got here, the stuff that I was experiencing because I never went out at night. I went out twice. I met 20 seconds in Thailand, Rob. I met him twice at that White Horse, whatever it was. Had 2 or 3 beers with him. That was the only time I was out after dark, for like an hour. And I split. I said, okay, nice meeting you. And the rest of the time, I'd get up, I'd go visit my buddy at him and his wife's little coffee shop restaurant deal, and have them make me breakfast and have coffee. Come back in the afternoon, have a smoothie, and then maybe go someplace for dinner. But I was home, back in my place before dark, and did that for the 6, 7 months, the 8 months that I was there, pretty much. Okay, let's see. What am I missing here? Rather than keep cash. Yeah, I always have. I always tell that to everybody. Precious metals for sure. Hey, Mitch, how you doing, brother? Hope you're well. Uh-oh, what happened? Did I freeze up, or did my? Oh, it looks like my. Let me get that. My mouse died. No, let me grab this. Plug it in for a minute. It's a USB. I'm digging my mouse. I got one of those ergonomic deals, and it's a lot better. Of course, I always forget to charge it. It doesn't take much to charge, but there we go. Yeah, for sure. I'm a big guy in keeping a certain amount of precious metals. Let's see. A pack of 20 cigarettes at the supermarket here is $40. What is that US to? Anybody know the? Hey, David, how you doing? What is that US? I know, like 8 years ago and stuff in New York, they were like $12 US dollars a pack. And it was creeping up in the States. I want to say they were like $6 or $7, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm too freaked out about crypto. I don't know enough about it to put any money into it, but definitely gold, silver, and platinum, for sure. On banking was cool. Go check out David's video. I will after I get done. Um, but yeah, I know it was getting outrageous. See, we had my wife smoked too, and we would buy 20 cartons at a time when they would let you. I think it was Obama that stopped the shipping of tobacco, which I always thought was weird because when they stopped it, you couldn't buy cigarettes over the internet, but you could buy all the freaking cigars you wanted because I like smoking cigars. And they would ship them and fly them and do it all, but they stopped the cigarettes. But I was getting them for like nothing, compared to what they were here. Then when they stopped that, we started buying from the Indian reservations up in Central California, and that was reasonable. I want to say, maybe $3 a pack or something, or 250 or something. But the biggest eye opener was when I came here and they were $1.25, $1.50 a pack, and because I smoked 3 packs a day, so it was, if they were $12 a pack, that's a little bit of money, at $1.50. It isn't, like I said, it's all relative to what you have. But hey, what's up, HK? How you doing? Hope you're well. Uh, just sold some. Yeah, I thought I had a bunch. Like I told you, my wife, we were checking into something, and years ago, the one of the things that I wanted to buy on the internet was Bitcoin. They were only accepting Bitcoin, so I bought $20 or something of one of the ones or whatever it was, and bought. I thought that I had anyway. I thought I had, like two or three, $400,000. I had to track it down because I don't even remember where I had it. The wallet. I went back and I said, well, I might as well spend the time on this. It's 400 grand. And as it turned out, no, it wasn't 400 grand. $26 a pack. Holy crap. I think I'd stop smoking. I don't know. Like I said, I don't Jones for it anymore. Good to hear, HK. Uh, I, uh, I can have people smoking right next to me. It doesn't really, some stressful things occasionally. But in the past, I think it's been over 5 years now since I smoked, and because I know my wife has told me, and I agree with her. If I started smoking, I'd die. I wouldn't last a couple of years, maybe. But and especially now with me thinking I can't breathe now, I could imagine if I was huffing and puffing on cigarettes. But at 26, holy crap, that's insane, insane. Oh, we're creeping over an hour, but I'll hang. There's still 11 of you here. Did my wife move her car? I can't see her car there anymore. Hold on a second. Ah, her car's gone. All right, so she went to the green market. Oh, they're putting the forms around the beam. Hold on, let me go and. I see. I guess because it's the corner post, so they're going to make it bigger. All right, they do good work. Like I said, man, my fence around my house is going to be 3 years now. This fence right at the bottom of that screen there. It looks like they're doing something right in that corner. Probably maybe a little bigger one too. Um, he put in the beams to come in to keep it, the underground crap and all that to keep it from falling over. And I'll tell you what, man, um, that fence hasn't. It's still sitting exactly. They put in the cross steel underground steel and concrete. I forget what they call them to keep it from 90% of the walls you see here in Thailand are falling over. So I'm happy with the way he did it. Like I said, man, he's talented when he's sober. Keeping him sober uh, can be a challenge. Let's see. It cost you 96. Yeah, I don't know, man. When the all I remember is that was I think it was Obama that stopped the cigarettes in the mail. And like I said, I don't know how they made the distinction or who paid who or who did what to let cigars still, which I was happy. I still got my, I could still at least get my cigars because I had a big humidor and I was into wine and brandy and, cheese and Merlot. And I enjoyed it. And like I said, this one here wasn't like any other, one other woman in my life that I met. This one would come blow inside the house, blow the smoke in my face. Most of the time, I'd go outside if it was uncomfortable outside. Though it was my house. But I wouldn't if she would have said, "Oh, it stinks. Get it out of here." No, blow it in my face. Blow it in my face. So she never busted my balls about it. So I could have there and have a nice cigar, a nice glass of wine, some real extra sharp cheddar cheese, and a 55-inch TV. I was in heaven. Now, let's see. I know I missed something here. Was David? Just an update on my hospital visit. Went yesterday to see the cardiologist. Turned out he was away until Monday. That would mean I'd have been stuck in the government hospital waiting. Um, yeah, what? Do you have congestive heart failure too, or no? I do. Jackson, my last trip to Thailand was 6 months ago. Pack of 10 packs of cigarettes was 645 baht. So it hasn't changed much from when I was here. If I remember right, I was paying 60 baht a pack. Yeah, footings. Yeah, the footings, but they'd also had he had steel coming off at an angle underground to keep that wall from, doing this. So it was extra besides that. Next time, uh, you haven't given it up, but it's only been a week. Yeah, you know what my biggest thing, David, is. Uh, yeah, see, I have a irregular heartbeat, congestive heart failure, diabetes, high blood pressure. Um, he has me on cholesterol, but my cholesterol is fine. But their theory is the lower you can keep the cholesterol, more open your veins are going to be. So I'm going to be on cholesterol, whether my cholesterol is great or not. But yeah, it just, I don't know. Yeah, I'm afraid that if I, oh yeah, this is now maybe I'll just one pack of cigarettes. Maybe I'll just and get right back into it and then just die. But right now it's been 5 years. If you would have told me that I would, stop smoking even for a year, I would have said you're full of shit. But 5 years, man, $80 a pack, are they? Yeah, I think like when I was in uh, Costa Rica, I could get. I don't know if you guys saw if anybody's seen the packs that you get here, where the pictures that they have on them of people with black lung and you know disgusting pictures. It's the same way there, but I could get it even cheaper coming out of uh, what was Nicaragua. They would go over there. There was guys that would go over there and buy cartons of them, bring them into Costa Rica, obviously illegally or whatever, and they would sell the cartons for under what you could buy them here. So I used to buy cartons all the time, and they were cheap then too. There too, and like I said, Costa Rica and Thailand, as far as weather, they have a rainy season. They have that. They're exactly pretty much the same distance away from the equator, but on the other side of the world. And and their stuff that the housing was the cheapest, pretty much, not as good as Thailand, and food was exactly the same. If you wanted to eat bread and beans and shit like that, you could be all right. If you wanted Fruit Loops and stuff like that, you had to pay out the nose for them. That's good. Now they told me I haven't had, but I my doctor used to hate it. The once a year or whatever they would do the chest X-ray, and he'd just shake his head when I'd come in. And how many packs of cigarettes you smoking? I don't know, three. He's going, man, I wish I could say your lungs look like shit and you need to stop smoking, which you need to stop smoking anyway. But your lungs don't. They look all right. But they told me that I think a couple of years, if you stop smoking, a couple of years, basically everything clears out. But we'll see. 2 packs a day. Yeah. We'll see cardio lungs on Monday to make sure. What? Yes, wrong. The pain. Been having gallstones. Wow. Yeah, otherwise I'm good. I tell you what, though, man. Like I said, I don't know if you guys can tell. I can tell by the speed of when I'm talking and the alertness that I have. Uh, it's like day and night from 2 3 weeks ago, man. Unbelievable, unbelievable. So every day, now I go over to the garage. I hadn't went and I wouldn't go for 3 or 4 days. I just stay in the house. It was getting bad. I'm glad that things are moving in this direction. Dave, that reminds me of an old joke. Lung removed and said that he was smoking, cut in half. Yeah, my the same friend that I was talking about earlier that has all of a sudden Mr. Moral and hates Trump and does all this stuff. I remember, God, how long ago was it? It had to be 15, 20 years ago, right? So we were like 50, or so. And he, he went to the doctor, and the doctor said, "Man, you need to stop drinking." He's going, "Why?" He goes, "Well, you lost 50% of your liver capacity." He's going, "Well, isn't that about right? I'm about halfway through my life." And I just about died. He actually told his doctor that I'm about 50% through my life. That's normal, right? And he hasn't even slowed down that I know of. Of course, I haven't seen him in years, but I'm sure he's still drinking. I haven't had the glorious uh, privilege to have any kind of stones. Luckily, I know Mitch. Mitch is a stone man. He grows them, I think, for sport, for sport and size. He's going for some kind of record, but otherwise, I haven't had either one. I don't know. Are your gallstones or something else, Mitch? I can't remember. Um, are you going on any trips? I haven't talked to you in a while. You're good to go now. Okay. Um, yeah, mine's weak. I saw it up here earlier. I don't know why. Both of my house, I have a separate line coming into the man cave on what is it called? What is it? Fiber here, and a separate fiber line going to the house. Two separate internet connections that I pay for. I pay 2,500 baht a month for my internet, and my wife get the channels because they watch the local news and shit. 2,500 a month. I think that takes care of my card and my Thai phone and something else too. So kidney stones. Yeah, Mitch is he's a authority on that. They checked my gallbladder; it was full. Um, they took my gallbladder out. Yes, that's one of those ones that they don't know why it's there, but you don't really need it. I don't go for that. If you got something in your body, I think it's there for a reason. Um, let's see what they're doing down here. They're digging another hole. Yeah, putting in support, side supports. But like I said, he did that. He bought the stuff to go underneath the underneath where the gate's going to go, and I guess they're forming that up. I guess they'll pour that today, and then I think they're going to put that down across there in the track that it's going to be on, and then I guess they're going to set the. That's what he's digging for. He's digging footings now. The footings are going to go in, and then he was going to. We had those. Those are side panel slide in deals, but he wanted to do it block this time. He said it's easier, so I said okay. It's actually a little bit cheaper, but like I said, uh, his deal was 16,000 for the front wall, and I can't remember what the was on the back wall. I ended up giving him a little bit extra. He cut himself short a little bit, so I helped him out. Um, and but like I said, I think the whole thing's going to be like $150 for all of it, which I think is phenomenal. But yeah, so that, and I'm imagining, like I said, I think he'll. If I had to guess, it should be. It's going to take him a while to build the gate and all that and do the metal stuff. But I think he'll probably have the wall up. I'd like to get the gate up on tracks, and then he can do the other metal around there. Because once we do that, uh, we can turn the dogs loose. That's the main reason that we did um, uh, put that fence up. The one back there, this one. That's why we put that up, and I think it turned out good. Is it going to be there in 100 years? Probably not. Is it going to be there? Um, well, after I'm dead, yeah. But it's it's just it's roofing is all it is. Heading to Pattaya for a couple of days to say hello to a friend who's going back to the States. Want to see him before he leaves. Then I come back to Chiang Mai. So is that, are you're driving or flying to Pattaya? I imagine you're on your way there now. I was threatening to my wife to go to Pattaya on the on my Forza, which of course she doesn't like. I was taught as a child, don't smoke if people are eating. Don't blow smoke in other people's direction. And I sit in a bar normally by myself. I smoke. Yeah, I don't know if I told you guys this story. We owned a bar, right? Me and my cousin, and I didn't go in any bars for 8 years when I was first 8 years that I was up in at Bass Lake above there, and I went to see a football game on my bike one day, one of the playoff games or something, and went in there, and the guy had just opened, and he was doing shit, and I'm sitting at the bar. I lit up and started smoking. What are you doing? I said, smoking. What do you mean? What am I doing? Give me an ashtray. No, no, you can't smoke. Can't smoke. It's a bar, right? He said, yeah, but you haven't been able to smoke in bars in like 5 years. Holy crap. So I went outside and I was about 10 minutes from my house. And in the town of North Fork, there's a bar there that is owned by Indian blood. Uh, and they can do a little bit different shit. So I said, man, that sucks, man. I'm going to sit here, have a beer, and not have a cigarette. And I'll be going back and forth. I can't even watch the game. He goes, well, you know where North Fork is? I said, yeah, I know where North Fork is. He goes, well, the Indian bar there, yeah. He said, you can do whatever you want in there. I said, okay, see ya. Drove there, made a bunch of friends with a bunch of Indians that were up there. We had a ball watching the game, and they had good food too. They made good food, but yeah, bring an ashtray, whatever you want, do whatever you want. And, but that was the only. I think it was in there. I went in there twice. Flying next week, I'll be staying at the Hilton on September 29th for a few days, and I want raised potatoes hand delivered. I can't remember. Is that the one that has the really really good buffet? It must be. Is that the Hilton, including restaurants? Hey Andy, how you doing? Mashed, we know. Oh, mashed potatoes. Okay. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like even when, and I was that way too, Johnny. When I, in the bar, I just smoked. You know, you don't want to be around smoke. Don't come to a bar. You know. But in a restaurant or something like that, I was usually real compliant. I would make sure I would, if I could get up and go out, I would go out. Just because I just didn't think it was, somebody's eating, they got their family there, their kids. This is the non-smoking. Bill sitting right here is in the smoking section. It wasn't like that was the same thing in an airplane. The back 10 rows were smoking. Like one right in front of it, you couldn't smoke. I said, we're in a tube. What difference does it make? We're in a tube. But that didn't go over well back in the day. And I know they kept those freaking ashtrays in the handles on the airplanes for years and years and years. I remember flying many years later, and they still had the ashtrays in the in the armrest. Conrad has a great book. Yeah, there was a couple of them that I seen. I think like Chocolate Man James did one on it, and Ride for Kicks did it one. I thought it was the Hilton that had like the one you want to go to or something. But of course, I don't need that. I'll sit down and eat and eat and eat and eat. I don't need to do that. Maybe as a milestone, when I lose 30 kilo, I'll go and have a buffet at the Hilton. So you're flying in, going to stay a couple of days. I don't know, like it. Even when I drove, I would still drive probably to Pattaya if I was going. Um, but maybe not. I don't know if that Utapao. If there was something that flew from Buriram to Utapao, which there might be, I don't know. I haven't checked in ages. I probably would, because the whole time that I'm there, I take Grab or Bolt or whatever. I don't drive my truck. It stays in the same parking spot at whatever hotel I'm in. So DoubleTree too. Ron knows all the all the good ones. I just released my membership is gone. I must have been on a card that got hacked. We'll remedy that shortly. Oh, you don't have to worry about that. You have a Hilton membership. Yeah, I don't know that. I like. It's nice. I like going when I go someplace. I like having the breakfast deal. I always get the breakfast with it. I don't think Mitch does. I don't think Mitch is not a breakfast guy. Um, my room for free because I'm famous. Are you famous? But I like it. Go down there, have my coffee, bring my little iPad. Hopefully Ron will be there and make a cappuccino for me. And we had a good time in that hotel. We got to do that again, maybe next year or something. That was fun. I had a good time doing that. I got to go to a Mexican restaurant. I was happy. For those interested in buying a used bike, check Johnny's laces. What a bicycle, motorbike? What is it? Do you know, Tom? And I imagine that is that Johnny. There's something happening, or is that who's Johnny? Which Johnny? We have to verify. I have a bar membership. I see. Okay. Uh, that was awesome, man. I really had a good time with everybody. That was everybody got to meet it was cool. It was a good time. Uncle Craig and it was a good time. I had a really good time. I'd like to do that again. We'll have to set that up again. That was fun. I know we had talked about it a couple of times, but it didn't transpire. You can fly Udon for about 1,500 baht. Yeah, when I went to Phuket on that fishing trip, that sail fishing trip with Tim, excuse me, he lived in Udon. We went. I drove to Udon and took a plane to Phuket. But I heard that Utapao um, was supposed to start picking up a lot more stuff. Buriram never went a bunch of places anyway, and supposedly I hear through the grapevine they're going to build a regular sized normal airport in Surin somewhere. Whether that happens, I don't know. I'll probably be dead anyway. But it motorbike, yeah, Johnny. There's something motorbike. Went to Honda Big Wing in Chiang Mai. I know that I saw Joe's video today. He was talking about it because they won't even work. His local Honda doesn't work on anything over 350 cc's. He wanted to get some stuff done on his, so he's got to go to the place I think he bought it at, which I believe is in Hue Hin, I'm guessing. But he was ribbon gift that he needed another toy, I guess. He was talking about the ADV. But yeah, I was there's a I don't know. I'm gonna do. I've been jonesing. I cleaned up, and the Forza's ready to hit the road on a little short trip somewhere. I was thinking about maybe going Chuck's Way and just spending a couple of days just getting away, wind in my face. Shit, I'm starting to jones for it, and I got to get it out. My bike of choice, man. Like I said, do I need a 750 like the ADV or whatever? I don't see any reason, man. Uh, I can hold the thing at 125 or 30 or whatever I want as long as I want. I do it occasionally. It'll creep up and I'll go, oh, now I put one of the cheap ass um, cruise control deals on it. I haven't even tried it yet. I've had it on there for 2 months and I just haven't got out there and slid it down. Oh, there's the membership. All right. Yeah, how far are you from me, David? How far is wherever you're at from me? But I just want to take a trip, So it's sitting there ready, but it's still my bike of choice for travel. I don't see any reason to have anything bigger. It's got more than enough storage on it, especially if it's just me. I throw another 60, the 66 or 60 something dry bag or the 90-liter dry bag across the back seat, and shit, I can go away for a month. So between the top box and the two side boxes and everything, and just the way that it positions me on it, the way that I'm sitting more upright than I would if I was riding something different, uh, the way that my feet set on there, the numbness that's in my feet from the diabetes or whatever, it doesn't bother me. I can sit on the thing for hours and hours. Uh, I just got nothing but good things to say about that freaking Honda. And it's twist and go. I don't have to shift. I don't have to remember to pull in the clutch. Even if I get Alzheimer's, I can still drive the Honda as long as I know that I twist and it goes. I got, I, I don't know. I dig my Forza. Yeah, maybe we could talk about that. North 8 hours. I got to just do something. I got to get out and thanks, Mitch. Get out and do something. And I'm going to take it out today. I don't care if it's just over to Buriram for a quick, zip there and back. I do that occasionally. Andrew, we were going to go on a trip, I think, to Buriram, but I haven't talked. I haven't heard from him in a while. Hope he's all right. Andrew, you listening? I know he bought the watch, so I don't know if he got it or not yet. But I haven't heard from him. He hasn't been on a live stream in probably a week. Yeah, the only thing that I like about the Forza versus the ADV is the windshield. Uh, I like occasionally to have wind in my face, and all I got to do is push the little electric button. My windshield's gone, and I get my Jonesing out of the way. Otherwise, I think I like the way the ADV looks a little better. The new Forzas, I actually like my dash better than the digital dash on the new Forzas, and I don't see any reason to do that. It doesn't look like they made enough changes to make me want to go. Okay, maybe I'll get rid of mine. I don't know. I'm buying a African Twin and a red sports car. Second midlife crisis. Good for you. Is it taller? I didn't even know. I just uh, that ADV is beautiful. Yeah, and the new Forzas and stuff. I don't know if you checked those out, Mitch. There, but see, if I was buying again, I'd buy used. I'd buy 100 and I'm sure that you could find an awesome 350 Forza for 100, 125, 150,000, 120, maybe even less. That's what I would do. Find some foreigner that bought it, did a bunch of modifications to it, drove it for 2 months, and it's been sitting for 2 years, and scoop it up for nothing. But I dug it. I dig mine. What about me? I love my 1980 Yamaha. Yeah, cool. With sidecar, cool. Uh, I checked out everything 350 and up. That bike that Joe's got's nice, but I don't even think you need the 1100. I think they make a 500 version of that or something. That same bike, but that looked nice. The only thing, uh, yeah, I'm working on my Shadow. I still haven't got that finished yet, but I got all the paperwork and everything done. And I still want the either a 400 or 6-inch Shadow or what's the other one, the hardtail type, soft tail one. Uh, they're cheap, 50, 60,000 baht. A little bobber just to run around, just to have. My wife, why do you need that? Because it's there. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it to you, but um, I if you're gonna travel, like I can't, I'm jonesing for Maui to come back and take that. I think we're gonna make. I'm hoping set up and make that loop like we made last time down to Koh Chang. Spend 3 or 4 days. He wants to go to another island, a couple of days, and then go back over to Pattaya for Thanksgiving, and then come home and make it a. I think last time it was a 5 or 6 day trip. Make it a 8, 9 day trip or whatever. He wants to go to one of the smaller islands there. I can't remember which one, but it was a blast, man. It was fun. It was fun, and like I said, for comfort and everything, and fuel mileage, and it, it's the only way to go. And like I said, I bought that other 300 from Taiwan, and it was a nice bike. It was okay, but I couldn't get anybody to work on it. And like I said, with the Honda, with the Forza or anything that you get with Honda on it, you could break down anywhere and throw a stone and hit a Honda dealer. So just makes sense. to have something like that. And they don't charge you nothing. I think synthetic oil. I think they charged me 300 or 500 baht to do an oil change on it. It's just it's not even worth picking up a wrench to do something like that. All right, Johnny. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. Have a good one. I'll go a little bit further. We still got 11 people here, maybe 10 when Johnny drops out. But yeah, and I've still got nothing. So I thought maybe I'd do another little video. It's been, I don't know how many years has it been? Almost 4 years now with the Forza since I did that one. That video is still I don't know how many views it has. I haven't checked lately. But every month it's on there. People are watching it. People ask me questions and stuff and do a little, video, mainly with me just rapping about how much I like it. Because I think it's a perfect bike, man. For price wise, where it is compared to, even if when you jump up to the 750, instead of going from, I don't know what the new Forzas are, let's say 180, the other one are 400,000, or something 39. I don't know. The 750s or ADVs are. David might know how much is the. Do you know how much the 750, and how much was your ADV versus how much is the 750? I just think it's unnecessary, throwing money away for no reason. If that's what you want and you got to have a little extra, I've had no problem getting myself or feeling that I could get out of any position that I put myself in on that bike. 200 for the ADV, and how much? The other ones are almost 400, right? The 750s. I think they're just. I don't know. I just don't see over 450. Wow. Yeah, and see if I don't know. That's why I don't want to. That's why I didn't get a Harley. I don't want to buy a used one and pay 700,000-800,000. I just think it's. I don't know. I won't ride it enough. If I got a full dresser, I might. But I don't know, man. I hate to say it. I really enjoy riding that freaking Forza. I could probably get killed in the States for saying that. Yeah, I think it's insane. And like I said, man, I really don't. I've got plenty of throttle there to get me out of anything that I feel I am on when I've been on it. To get out of the way, to move, to accelerate, to decelerate. It's perfect. And like I said, I like my windshield. I like the way they look. I mean, they're a nice looking, sleek scooter. And that's all it is to me, is a big ass scooter. That's all it is. And comfortable to ride. I've got plenty of stuff to travel. It's got plenty of, room. It's insane. 350, 350 cc's, single cylinder, right? Isn't it single cylinder, I think? Uh, and but 350. And it is I dig it. I really do. And for me to say that and not have to duck, somebody might try to assassinate my ass. But am I still a Harley man? And yeah, deep down, give me a panhead or a knuckle or a flathead or some of the old ones, suicide, I'd be in heaven. But I wouldn't ride it, I would, but not like this. I got no qualms going out there right now, checking the air pressure in the tires, filling it up full of gas, putting my shit on it, and going to Pachuap Kurikon. I made that in one ride, one trip, 12 and a half hours or something. And I'd like to do that again. I'd like to go down there. I really enjoyed it down there. Yeah, it's a good bike. I like the street glide. Yeah, they're both both 350s, and I haven't seen a bunch of the Forza 750s, but the ADV 750s are way more popular, I think. Ah, there he is. Were your ears burning, Andrew? Did you get your watch? How many steps do you have in today? I was just saying I hadn't seen you in a while. We were talking about jumping on the Forza and taking a ride to Bury Rum. Um, But it's good to see you. Cheers. Oh, it's good. Yes, you got it. Do you like it, or do you know yet? You just get it yesterday. You probably only got it not even a week ago, right? I dig mine. I really do. I like it a lot. I like the 1400 baht versus trying to buy some Apple thing. And it keeps, like I said, I don't use it as that's the number. I use it that it shows that my blood sugar goes up when I eat something. Now, what that goes up, I just want to see it and then come down. Same thing with blood pressure. It's consistent as hell on the blood pressure. May not be my blood pressure, but I know it's consistent. So, like I said, next time when I go in, the doctor said he's going to run the whole panels on everything, my triglycerides, my everything, and then we're going to compare it to the to the to the watch. He's excited about it too. What was he busy? Who was? Uh, I'm in the truck at a light. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, we got the go. I want to do a little trip to Buriram or something. So when you maybe next week sometime, we'll go there and have lunch or something, or we'll find a place that I could eat a salad or something. We'll just take a ride there and come back if you want to on the phone. Uh, but if you guys, because it's an hour and a half now, I think I'm going to get close. If you guys haven't, David put out a video on banking, what we were talking about earlier. So I'm going to watch it today. If you guys get a chance, go over and give him some time and watch the video. Plus, I'm interested to see what's up. Like I said, I'm a firm believer that you're going to need a yellow book. So everybody that can get one. And I'm also curious to what going to happen with Jackson. See what happens with him. Um, and I believe that it's true. I know that they're doing it because they're getting infiltrated with scammers and this and that. So they're trying to make sure everybody's everybody who they say they are. They're not, some front thing, which I can understand, but they ought to be more open about it. Hey, we hate to screw with you guys on this, but we're going to need to do it, so we're going to do it. Um, and I don't think I wouldn't be bothered by that. I'm sure there would be somebody saying, "Oh, why are you picking on them?" Giving them shit, but there's no reason for that. But I would be happier knowing that they were upfront about it with me, and that my bank account is going to be, frozen for 8, 10 days or whatever, and deal with it. And they could have done it ahead of time and said, "We're going to do this in 3 weeks. So get your shit together and put money aside." And they could have done it better, I guess, is what I'm saying. Hey Jake, how you doing? Yeah, I got to get mine. I just never, my wife was and bugging me. It was me, it wasn't her, because all the trolls and stuff will say, "Oh, you're going to take everything you got." Not that being on a yellow book makes any difference, but uh, But I told her I'll do it now, so she's going to put it together because, like I said, I'm a firm believer they're going to shortly. It's going to take a yellow book to get a bank account in Thailand. It's a house book. If you've seen a regular house book, it's um, shows them that's basically their whole identity and they own it and that kind of stuff. Well, you can, as a foreigner and as like your significant other or whatever, you can get on this yellow book. You can even get a pink, like you've seen the Thai cards. It's a pink one that has your picture on it. It's a pink Thailand card. It's not an ID card for it says you're now a Thai person, but it verifies you as being that person, and that's what I think that the banks are looking for. They want an absolute. When Dave comes in and says he's Dave, and they don't want to screw around with it anymore. Which I can understand that. You know, there you are. I was just thinking about you. I was watching on Facebook, and I think you had went live, and I don't know, I was passed out or something. But it looked like you had a great time. It looks like you guys are happy to be back, so it's good to see. I hope you're well. You guys look healthy, so yeah, pink ID card, and I don't think it gets you anything. Um, I know that supposedly, and Chuck had told me this, and I never tried it, but your driver's license and stuff like that is supposed to be good enough if you're going to a hotel as a substitute to your passport. I always take my passport with me. Doesn't make a difference. Ah, my favorite place. I think I did. That's where you were. Yeah. Um, I love it there, man. It's I don't know what the attraction is to it. I think it's the curvy roads and being on two wheels if I could, or I drive the truck and my wife just about kills me. She doesn't like anything that's hilly, and anything like this is hilly. I said, boy, man, going through the Rockies and shit, boy, you sure wouldn't be a happy camper. But do you have to own a property? Um, I believe so. Now, they're probably going to have to. You saying that right now, they're probably going to have some kind of an option for someone, let's say like you. You know, what that's going to be, I don't know, but I know that the first thing that they're going to want is Yellow Book. Yeah, you were gone for quite a while, right? Does Kitty still remember how to speak Thai, or is she just strictly English speaking now? I'm just kidding. If she's with you, hi Kitty, how you doing? Hope you're well. Um, but yeah, it looked like fun. It looked like I. Are you still? I don't know. I haven't talked to you in a long time. I don't know. You still have businesses there? Have you ended that? Or are you just going to be a Thai resident now? Or are you still going back and forth every 6 months or 3 months? I haven't had a chance to rap with you. I'm gonna have to come to Pattaya. Love being back 1 month. Wow. Yeah, I don't. Man, I don't. To do what you did, I would. I could have done it, especially if I took my wife with me, like you took Kitty. And went in the van and did that. I thought that was cool. I could do it, but just to go back to the states, I'm dreading. Not dreading. I'm going to try to plan 3 weeks with my wife in February, and go to see my good friends and my family. They want to meet her and this and that. But when I went back for my mom's, excuse me, my mom's funeral, first off, like I said, I wasn't. I was there for 10 days, but it was like I didn't feel like I should be out partying and whooping it up with my friends and stuff. I felt like it was a time to mourn. So I only stayed with my cousin Rich and his girlfriend. I went and saw one friend's wife that had passed away, and her brother that I knew really well that I had seen at the funeral. And we went and had Mexican food one night. But otherwise, man, I was after 2 days, I was ready to beat feet, man. I was ready to get back home every 6 months. Okay. But not for like a year, right? Just for 3 weeks, a month, or something. Or are you going to be there for 2 or 3 months? No, you can't. What is this one? No, you can't own any land, but no time. But the only thing that they could get away with, they would say, and this is um, for Jackson, is they might want you to buy a freaking condo. You can own a condo under certain circumstances. So I imagine that if you own that condo, you could get a yellow book. But that's asking a lot for somebody. But maybe that's what they want to do. I don't know. Sometimes they amaze me when they try to make things so tough for people that are here spending 150,000 baht a month. You know, it seems to me like, God, why are you busting their stones? You know, they love to, like me. I love Thailand. I want to contribute to the schools and to help Thailand and everything. I want to do. Um, But I just wonder sometimes why it seems like they make it so tough in certain aspects of their stuff. Just getting really weird in the States. Road rage, acts of anger. Uh, yeah, yeah. I think you maybe cut it short, come down, and I would. Um, hey, what's up, JR? Hope you're well. Haven't heard from you in a while. Hope everything's going good. When I got my local town office, yeah, my wife has to set up something. I've got to go into the whatever and do something. And I think Chuck was in the process of getting his. I don't know if he did. I'll have to ask him. But yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting question, Jackson. Somebody that's here that's retired and doesn't want a significant other, doesn't care about that, doesn't want to own anything. Just wants to retire and spend $1 million baht a day in Thailand. What does that person do? It'll be interesting to find out. But I'm under the firm belief that they're going to do it. Some of most of my joy I was in the military, do visits to orphanages and school and time. Yeah, yeah, I love it, man. And like I said, to give back because, like I said, I figured between my wife and everybody, the doctors and everything, Thailand saved my life. I would have been dead if I would have been anywhere and hadn't met my wife. I would have been dead. If I would have stayed in the States, I would have been dead because I wouldn't have went to the doctor. I would have just died in my house in the States. Because of my wife forcing me to go there, and then the doctors helping me out. And it was one my lung doctor said, you need to pay back Thailand. I said, yeah, big time. I want to, and he does. He comes. He's an awesome dude. He comes with when he comes to work. He has trunk full of stuff and hands it out in the freaking parking lot. Stuff out away. Yeah, and I believe in that, and we do it every month. And the stuff that everything that comes through this channel goes to my wife. It's her AdSense account and her deal. She takes it and buys stuff for kids. It goes back into Thailand. Most of the time to kids, but like one time, one of the workers when we were building the pool was talking to her, a gal. She was working on the house in the pond, and her son was starting soccer but didn't have any soccer shoes, so she took money out of the account and bought soccer shoes. Most of the time we bought a 55-inch TV for one of the schools. We bought tables and chairs and soccer balls and tennis nets and all sorts of crap. Everything for them. And it feels good. I dig it. What was Dad? Hey, Daz, what's up, brother? How you doing? Hope you're well. Are you here now? I think you might be here. I think you might be in Thailand. I was getting my pink ID and ended up getting the yellow book. Took several visits, but not to give. I know that Chuck was doing it, and he was. I don't know if he ever got it, but he was complaining a couple of times that it was a pain in the freaking ass. If not already, recommended to check out a recent video from Chris Parker, retired working for you. Great stuff on helping students change their life. Cool. Um, I'm all good. Got back in the same time zone on Friday. Cool. I know that I know Chuck, a couple of things I've seen, and you guys are planning on doing something. So that's cool. The Yellow Book for long-term retirement visa. I'm not an expert. Mm. That's saying hi to everybody. Yeah, I kind of figured you were. Nice. We'll be back in Thailand February time frame. We're hitting Japan for Christmas and New Year's, Tokyo. That's the one place it's on my list that I haven't went to. People are saying, and I know nothing about their. I know I heard it was expensive, but I heard now it's because the dollar or whatever their yen or whatever's down. It's a good bang for the buck is what I've heard. I don't know. But see, I'm one of those weirdos. Everybody else will go to all these places. I'll be up in the mud ponds and the the off track places checking out koi farms and stuff. Although I do want to see some of the stuff, but I heard for the exchange rate, it's very favorable to go. If I'm wrong, let me know, Jr. Because I don't want to turn people down. Dave said to go to Japan. I went to Japan. It cost me a fortune. So don't ever take me. Always check everything that you hear on the internet or on YouTube, no matter who it is, me included. Like I said on this yellow book and stuff too. This is all my own, what I think is going to happen, like what I thought was going to happen with ganja. That's just what I think is going to go on. 140 yen rate, can't beat it. It's the best time to visit Japan. Food is very affordable. Some hotels can be expensive, but bargains can be found. Very cool. Yeah, I want to try to go. I don't. It's different. It's harder for me to travel than a lot of people because my wife still works, and it's harder. And I can't walk 20,000 steps a day. Like I said, if I went somewhere and I went with Daz and I went with Mitch and I went with Chuck, I wouldn't have a problem because I just do my own thing. Everybody get up in the morning, have breakfast, say, okay, see ya. Let me know where you're going to be at lunch. I'll take a taxi over to where you're at. We'll have lunch. I'll walk 10 steps and come back and we'll eat dinner and I'll go to bed. As long as no one busts anybody balls, I'm fine. Why don't you just walk? What's the matter with you? That kind of crap, that wouldn't fly with me. But with that particular group, I'm fine traveling. But we'll have to see. Let me see what they're doing. I see a bunch of movement. Oh, they're mixing concrete and pouring the corner piece. In case anybody's wondering, they're getting ready to. Oh yeah, they're pouring concrete. Put the corner posts of that opening there from that black post all the way over to the new gate or the new fence that we put up. That fence is the opening, and it's extra wide. It's 7.5 meters because then this will all be concrete on the coming in and out all the way over to the post, and it so I can get my trailer because that road is actually only 10 feet wide. So people build across, or there's that land right directly across from me isn't raised, so I can't just like put my truck over the cliff there. So I made it extra wide. It's actually almost, it is half the distance of the property's 15 or so, 15, 16 meters, 16 meters wide. So make it easier when me backing the trailer in. Sunny BKK rain on the highway heading home. Yeah, the youngest daughter is still going to college over there. We paid for an apartment over there, and then she's got the little car that her and her sister both had. Now the oldest is back here in Turin. She said it's been rainy there. Been here too. It shows rain every day. It's overcast, but I don't know. Like when they say traveling and stuff like that, I don't ever let any of that scare me. Even when I went to Hawaii and stuff like that, I always went when I could get the best price on hotels and stuff like that. And in Hawaii, man, I was even when I was riding the bike when in Hawaii, it was, yeah, it's gonna rain. It's rainy time. This is when it rains. Rained for like 10 minutes and then wouldn't rain for 8 hours. And when it rained, it was 90 degrees out. So I don't know. It never bothered me. But here, it shows rain every day. But I don't know. We got heavy rains a couple of nights. But I think since all the rainy stuff started, we only had one day that it kind of drizzled on and off. Normally, it would rain for like 20 minutes and then be no rain for 6 hours and then rain for 10 minutes and then, no more rain. It's weird. So I never let it get to me. I never had a problem going anywhere when it's raining. 2.0 steps. Yeah. Like right now, I'm 360 steps, but I only came from the house to the man cave. So I haven't went. But normally with my new watch, which I dig my watch. 2000, 2500 is a normal day of me staying here, going over to the garage, doing shit in the garage, getting on the e-bike and, doing that and that kind of stuff. So, but I'm not, Chuck, they're insane people. They're crazy. I can't do that. All right, Tommy, I'm gonna end it. I think here pretty shortly. It's been an hour and 55 minutes now, so I'm gonna do 5 more minutes and close it out as at 2 hours. But there's actually 16 of you here. Amazing. But yeah, for me, doing the fence. Hopefully that'll be done in a couple of weeks. I'm redoing the garage because I'm going to put another cover over the front next to the. Let me bring it up. Next to the because I dig all the room I have in the garage, so I've come to liking it. And why is it continue playing? The flag's over it. Son of a bitch. Anyway, the oh, now you can barely see it. No, you can't. You're looking through a Thailand flag. Um, I'm going to put another. Oh, I'm going to put another cover, like that's over the trailer there, in front of the garage. So my truck will be under the cover, but it won't be in the garage. That half a garage, man. I can put my Shadow, my Forza, my e-bike, my Scoopy, and still have 1.5 more. I'm gonna keep. I like it in there. My air conditioning and shit. Let's see. I think I'm doing the DTV visa in March and starting my 5 years. Oh, cool. Think we will spend 6 months a year in Thailand, a couple months here in the Philippines, and figure out the rest of the thing. Cool. Next, when are you coming? You're coming in February to Thailand? Is that what you said? Definitely want to get together with you guys. I've got the link to it. It's the one that I saw like on Facebook because I bought it off of Lasada, but you got 9 million of them. So for me to try to say which one it is, I've got a link to it. Sent it to Andrew. I've sent it to a couple people now, and I'd be more than happy to send you the link to make sure you get the right one. But I'm happy with this one. So if another model, another manufacturer, something like that, but it was only 1,400 baht. So I thought, and it does blood glucose, steps, all the sports stuff. It does ECG, PPG, ECG, heartbeat, glucose, I said, blood pressure, blood oxygen, blood composition, your body, how much body fat you have, body temperature, sleeping. It does all of it. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's not. It's about normal for here. We get a little bit, which I like about spring. See, it's just creeping into my time of year. Like another month. What are we in now? September, October, November-ish. Then we get in the mornings 11, 12 degrees. I dig it. Yeah, February for a month in Bangkok, then heading to Vietnam. That's one of the ones I'm threatening to go to that I haven't been yet. And then back to Thailand probably until the end of May. Oh, cool. Well, definitely. You're staying the whole month in Bangkok? Did you do something wrong and that's a punishment? Or I'm not a big Bangkok. I'm not a big Bangkok fan. Um, Andrew made it home. Cool. I think we will do August through January every year for Thailand. Get out of the typhoon season here in the Philippines. Very cool. Do you really? You know what it is? I shouldn't say that. The only time I was there was when I first came. I knew nobody. I stayed in the hotel the whole time because I was going to the embassy to get hi, my name's Dave, and I got the last ones. I make $5 billion a week and they verified it so that I could get my visa. I was the last one to get it, and I didn't know where to go or what to do. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know nothing. So I just stayed in my hotel for 3 nights or 4 nights when I did my stuff there, and then flew back home. I'd like to go sometime with somebody that actually knew it and check it out. Yeah, I just didn't like it. But like I said, I never didn't know places to go, things to see. It just looked like, man, if I want to do this, I just go down to downtown LA and hang out for a while, or Frisco, and and hang out if I wanted to hang out like this. But maybe it's different. I don't know. You're a city addict. Yeah, see, I'm like, give me the out in the middle of nowhere stuff. That's what I dig. You love BKK too. Shit. All right, everybody. I'm going to. It's been 2 hours and 1 minute and 19 seconds. You guys are awesome. We got a couple of new followers, I think, not many, but hello to you if you watch this. But I think I'm going to end the video. I'll play my little 30-second out. I'm almost going to spend the money to get my other thing back so I can play my intro and outro. Nah, not really. They want too much money. It's not worth it for what I'm doing twice a week. But everybody, let's see. Let me go over and get that up. And everybody have a great, hopefully I'll see you sometime soon, Daz and JR somewhere. And Mitch, too, I haven't seen in a while. Maybe we'll have to figure out something and have something. I know you'll be around, so I'll be in touch somehow. But everybody have a great morning, afternoon, or evening, and I'll catch you on the next one.